Version 1.4 for Zenless Zone Zero is around the corner with lots of new exciting content and optimization improvements for the game, and in this video I will showcase and explain some of the new things coming to the game, like Deadly Assault, which is a new permanent gameplay mode, a new upgrade function system which is very useful for building characters, and so much more quality of life and new features coming to the game. Also, please be aware that this video's footage comes from the official creators beta server, so nothing you see here is final and everything is subject to change, but also a big shout out and thanks to Zenless Zone Zero for giving us the opportunity to see these new things before the official release. Let's start with a new gameplay mode called Deadly Assault, which I will be showcasing first. This permanent new game mode has 3 bosses to choose from each season, and each boss has their own unique mechanics and multiple stacks of HP. The lower you take this boss's HP, the more powerful it becomes. You can use your agents and bamboos only once per season, so you have to choose your teams wisely based on the mechanics of each boss. If you do mess up your team's lineup, you can reset the stage and get those characters and bamboo back while keeping your previous rewards. There is 2 ways to get score in this game mode for more rewards: the damage score and the performance score. The damage score is by doing as much damage to the boss as possible within 3 minutes, and the performance score you get by doing special mechanics unique to each boss. Let's take Corrupted Overlord Pompey as an example. In this season, Pompey gains a Berserk buff every 10 seconds, increasing his damage by 20%, stacking up to 3 times. But if you inflict an attribute anomaly on him, he will lose 1 stack of Berserk and he will also take 15% increased damage for 20 seconds. Each time you inflict a tribute anomaly on this boss, you will also gain 150 performance points, up to 5000, which will be your performance score for this boss. So for this boss it would be best to use an anomaly character to increase your overall score. One last thing to know is that there are also 3 buffs you get to choose from, like Anomaly and Disorder buffs, or more attack and decibel rate gain, or attack and crit damage increase. You will need up to 20,000 points to get 3 stars, which is the max you can get per boss in Deadly Assault, and you will need 9 stars for all the rewards, or only up to 6 stars if you only care about the polychromes. Overall, the rewards are polychromes, in investigation merits, and Dennis as rewards, and in the future, Deadly Assault will alternate with Shield Defense on Fridays, with each lasting 2 weeks. From my experience with Deadly Assault, some of these bosses are pretty challenging, but I am pretty sure with some practice and the correct team lineups, we'll be just fine clearing this new seasonal mode's content. One of the best optimizations I have seen so far for Zenless Zone Zero is the new special training plan, which is a system that helps you in building your characters. This is a really helpful new feature that tracks everything you need to build characters, which you can see on the right, after selecting what kind of build you want to go for with your characters, and it can go really in-depth, which I'll show in a minute, but let's start with the basics. On the left side you can choose between Try Out and Plan to Outstanding. Try Out is to build a character to a point where it will be viable, but not to the max to save some materials. And Plan to Outstanding is to build a character to its max potential. This can be selected for the character, W engine, and their skills. For drive disks, you can select Fairy Suggestions, which is what the game suggests you use as your drive disk set, or you can select Proxy Selections. Proxy Selections are recommendations from players, which is also very useful to be able to see what other players are using for that character. If you are not satisfied with these options, you can click on More Plans on the top left, and this will open a website in-game with a way more in-depth guide, which is very useful and I highly recommend using it when building characters. This will show you everything you need to know, like the amount of stats you need, substat priorities, recommended team lineups, what W engines to use, and what skill levels to go for. When you click on Switch Plans on the top right, it will give you a long list of different builds for that character, like a free-to-play friendly build for low spenders, or a perfect stats build if you want to min-max your characters. You can also see the player's name on the bottom left who created the build, which is pretty cool. Once you have finally selected your build, you can press the Set as Target button and it will track all the materials you need and mark it everywhere, which is so clean. These places includes the HIA Club, Routine Cleanup, Notorious Hunt, the Music Store, etc. I think this is a huge new quality of life feature that a lot of players wanted, that not only puts you on the right path of building characters, but also lets you track the materials you need in the game without having to go back to your characters to check what they need. The next thing I would like to show is a sneak peek of the new quality time feature, which is added to the trust system with your characters. Quality time allows you to invite an agent to different locations and they will follow you around in the city, but there is more to it. There is 2 events that can trigger in quality time called wish events and fun events. To complete a wish event, you need to take the character to their desired location. Completing a wish event for the first time will grant you some trust experience and also some extra new rewards added to the game like polychromes. Fun events are things that could trigger while you walk around with the character in the city. Fun events will also have some new rewards like leveling materials. To unlock the quality time feature for a character, you need to be at least trust level 2 with them, which isn't too hard to get thankfully. Once you have reached trust level 2 with a character, you can go to the knock knock interface on your mobile and select invitations. You will see a new button at the very bottom of the screen saying quality time, where you can access the new feature. There is also a new feature unlocked under the internet interface called the Journey tab. This new tab tracks your story progression and it will also track what you need to do to unlock new functions and the next story. As an example, if you want to unlock the newsstand, you can click on it and it will tell you what you need to complete to unlock it and what the newsstand offers under details. This goes all the way until chapter 5 in version 1.4, which I won't be showing to keep it spoiler free, but just be aware that there are some nice rewards in here even for endgame players, like master tapes and a lot of dennies, so definitely go and check it out. There is a lot of new quality of life features which can be great time savers. One of the biggest ones coming in version 1.4 is the quick sweep function for Shiyu Defense. In Shiyu Defense we had to clear from the first frontier until the 7th frontier each season, but after the next season, if you have cleared the 4th frontier or higher with an S rank, you will be able to use this quick sweep function to instantly clear frontier 1 to 3, which will save you a lot of time for each season. If you are a newer player and you have reached S rank on the first 3 frontiers, you will be able to start from the corresponding frontier and claim rewards to the prior frontiers too. Coffee Cafe, the coffee shop, also changed their menu and made it much simpler to choose which coffee to use now. Usually we had to pick between so many coffees doing the same thing with different requirements, but now if you want the double rewards for one combat simulation card, there is a new coffee called Espresso, which will double all the combat simulation cards instead of just the specific one like in the past. This makes it way less complicated, which is great and much easier to understand. Another great quality of life change we are getting is for the double drop events or drive discs. For this event, once you have completed the drive disc level, you had to scroll down on the drops menu to find all the S-rank drive discs. But now they are sorted out to show rank by rank and it is much easier to see all the S-rank drive discs from the top of the interface without scrolling around to search for them. I remember when Zenless Zone Zero launched, there were some players complaining about the TV mode throughout the story. The devs are aware of some players not enjoying the TV mode that much, so they have added a new option all the way until chapter 3 of the story, where instead of using the TV mode to progress throughout the story, you can now directly control EOS the bamboo throughout these levels. This mostly consists of jumping and diving through obstacles, and rest assured, if you do prefer the TV mode instead, you still have the option to use it over controlling a bamboo directly. I personally think this is a great option and a good way to keep both sides of the community happy regarding the TV mode, and I think it's the best the devs can do in a situation like this. One of the most anticipating things coming to the game in version 1.4 is the option to control all your characters in the city. You can now select any character you have and run around with them, and some of these characters can be quite interesting, like Ben since he is so big, and also Rina since she usually flies. A fun fact about Rina is, if you walk with Rina, she no longer flies, so there is a lot of cool things you can explore with the new options we have now, and it is great to be able to use all your characters now. After version 1.4 it will be much easier to access events and you will be able to unlock some events before meeting the requirements and experience these events throughout the event interface. While I couldn't see much of this on the test server, I think it will work similar to Honkai Star Rail where you can skip the story, and just go straight for the event without unlocking its actual requirements, which is great for busy people that doesn't have a lot of time and don't want to miss out on some great rewards from the limited time events. One of the biggest changes coming in version 1.4 is the new Decibels and Ultimate system, and if you would like to see how exactly it works, make sure to check out this video. Peace out!